And we are back. So we finished everything in the main story, but there's actually a bonus level, the core, chapter 8. About a year later, hey there, kiddo. Nice to see you again. Here's the cave I told you about on the phone. Follow me. So the gimmick of this chapter is our dash doesn't recharge when we touch the ground. It only recharges from the crystals. What is this place? This passage leads to the center of the mountain. You said you wanted to come back and explore deeper. Doesn't get any deeper than this. Be careful though. When you get this close to the heart of the mountain, its power will start affecting you differently. Yeah, I already noticed some of that. Good luck in there. So we need 4 hearts to proceed. These can be any 4 hearts, so it could be from the B sides, the A sides, I guess the C sides if you're really feeling crazy, but you just need 4. So these little weird moving walls kind of act like vertical conveyor belts. They kind of launch you upwards. Alright, so this chapter is... I don't want to say gimmicky, because that sounds like I don't like it, but I do like this chapter. But it's interesting. It's, as you can see. So the main gimmick is these blocks. I didn't actually push jump, so that was my fault. So basically, I didn't jump again. Can you turn off screen shaking? Is it on? Oh, it is on. There we go. So we have to actually use this block to launch us sideways because we don't have a dash on. We can repel ourselves up. Repel is not the word. Because I think you repel down, not up. So we have a strawberry that way, but we can't grab it yet. We have to go right first. I probably shouldn't have used that dash, if I'm gonna be honest. Probably wasted it there. Piece of cake. Also, welcome to the stream. We finished up the main chapters and we're just taking on the core now. These blocks kind of have a certain directional influence. So if you stand on the right side, it shoots you right, and so on. So we kind of want to angle ourselves not too far right, but definitely kind of in that direction, like that. I mean, you can also just hold the side of the block to launch straight right, but for now we're kind of... What was I saying? Yeah, we don't want to launch that far. So this is our first switch. This turns everything to ice. So these blocks that would normally launch us instead just crumble. So the main gimmick of the core is fire and ice. So this wall is an example that would normally launch us upwards. Instead, we just kind of slide off of it. So we actually have to use the dash crystal. I'm pretty sure there's a speedrun trick that you can circumvent that, but I don't know what it would be. So what would be like lava just is ice, but it still kills us all the same. So same difference. So now we're kind of backtracking through. with the ice mechanics now. It's a pretty fascinating way to teach you a mechanic, actually. Because it's like... you go through the room, the right side of this area, right, to learn about the fire gimmicks. Then you go through the same passageway to the left to learn about the ice gimmicks. It's a pretty unique way to teach you gameplay mechanics. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember how to do this. Like, I'm legitimately not entirely sure how I'm supposed to approach this room. I think I was just too low. I need to be higher up. Not that way. I swear these bumpers are the most finicky thing in this game. Like, if I had one complaint is that, like, for this game as a whole, it's that some mechanics don't work consistently, and bumpers and clouds are the two least consistent mechanics. Because they kind of just send you in whatever direction they feel like. That's how it comes off sometimes. Use up my dash too soon. There we go, that's better. That's more like it. So, now we have to unfreeze. So, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of back and forth between the two extremes. Have you tried jumping and dashing on into the ground and jumping again? Like this. Yeah, I'm aware of this. I'm not sure when you're supposed to actually use it legitimately, but I do know that it comes up, I think, the C-sides. But yeah, it's one of the big speedrunning techniques, and this game is actually really popular for speedrunning, because the developers just left in a lot of things. It's like you're not supposed to find the sound until the B-sides at the minimum. I think it's actually the C-sides where you're supposed to learn. But they just kind of let you find all this stuff out and use it in the base game, just for the heck of it, for speedrunning. There's a lot of things that apparently that just kind of got left in, that they're like, we're just gonna leave it in because it's cool. So I respect their mentality regarding speedrunning. As someone who just very casually speedruns a couple games. I need to get back to 64, actually. That reminds me, I really need to speedrun 64 again. I used to do 16 star, kind of fell out of it because not enough time, frankly. But I should get back to it. My record's like 26 minutes, so not terrible. This is like the worst room for me. Like, this isn't the hardest room in this chapter, but it's the hardest room on a personal level. If that makes any sense. Also, that strawberry, you have to use the momentum to launch yourself. I have not used... I actually have used assist mode in a separate file. For the base game, I try not using assist mode, just kind of out of principle. I think thematically, based on the theming of the game, it works better without assist mode, but that's just my personal preference. But I have actually turned it on in a separate file just to see what it would do. And I actually really like the inclusion of an assist mode because it makes it more accessible. I'm really big on games being accessible. Thank you for the follow. Can't actually see who followed because I'm doing this platforming segment, but thank you nonetheless. Yeah, this is a difficult chapter just because you can't use as many of the mechanics, to be blunt. Alright, so now we're in the next part of the chapter. We have a new mechanic in the form of rising lava, which is my favorite gimmick in games when they add stress. This isn't even peak stress, by the way. It gets more stressful later on. If you were wondering. You 100% the game? When you say 100%, do you mean a full 200? Because if so, then that's really impressive. I have only gotten up to 175 because I'm still working through the B-sides on my own time, and I'm also still trying to get the, I haven't even attempted C-sides, obviously. That's mulligan. I don't know how much my personal file has in terms of a death count. It's probably pretty high. This file's at like a few hundred because I wasn't going for every strawberry, to put it bluntly. That was a mistake. I didn't hold B. That was totally my mistake. Yeah, so my biggest issue with Celeste is the things that just feel like they're outside the player's control. Which actually, there isn't a ton like that, which is nice. Also, I'm pretty sure you have to hit a switch. Something. Or just do this. That works. Have you done dashless yet? No. I'm nowhere near proficient enough to try to do a dashless run. Like the corner spike jumps. I don't know how to do that. This is like one of my least favorite rooms in Chapter 8 because it's just entirely cycles. And the way I handle cycles in games is a lot of waiting, which you can't do because there's Rise of Lava. So it's a cycle puzzle with a time limit, which just... It's not difficult, but it stresses me out. That's the best way to put it.